body because their body's in it. This is the only part you can see. This horse. I can't get this stuck to it. It doesn't even matter what color they are. They're still breathing dragons. If you touch them, they will seriously breathe your head off.
The horses?
Yeah.
What's this supposed to be?
I meant it's the...
That could be a cage.
Oh, yeah. Chick-chang. I'm having a race.
I'm gonna make a monster.
Just don't. I see two of them.
What do you think of that, Leah?
If you see a real red horse, don't touch it because it might breathe dragon fire. I'm gonna touch a red. You know you have to paint the horse.
There's others on that.
No, I meant a real one. I have a lot of horses. I only have like
at your house?
No, I don't. Yeah. I want a horse.
How many horses?
I have no idea, but they're at my grandma's house. I want 12 of them. My house is gonna maybe be good. Mine is kind of weird because these Legos won't stick on. Can't wait till tomorrow night that I get to see my grandma.
Oh yeah? Did she come in to visit you?
No, she's gonna come in tomorrow night.
Was she coming to visit you?
Yeah, she's gonna stay here until Easter. I thought you were going to Rifle. In 4 days. Okay. I thought you were going to Rifle, Austin. In 4 days I'm going. Well, I thought you said your grandma's coming here. No, my other grandma.
So, when relating our viewed section of the video to the kindergarten document in both overall and specific expectations, after reading the chapter, we came down to 2 overalls and 5 specifics. So for our overall expectations, we found that expectation 1, which was communicate with others in a variety of ways for a variety of purposes, we found is evident throughout our whole duration of the video, as well as expectation 3, identify and use social skills in play and other contexts, is again very evident. The specific expectations were section 1.2, which were listen and respond to others both verbally and non-verbally for a variety of purposes. Section 1.4, sustain interactions in different contexts. Section 1.7, use specialized vocabulary for a variety of purposes. Section 1.9, which was describe personal experiences using vocabulary and details appropriate to the situation. And one from specific expectation 3.1, act in talks with peers and adults by expressing and accepting positive messages, which will be further explained on the next slide.
So when looking at our specific expectations chosen from the kindergarten document, expectation 1.2 focuses on listening and responding to others both verbally and non-verbally for a variety of purposes. In the video, there was a lot of literacy and communication occurring during our selected time period, as everyone that was present in the video joined in the whole time, whether it was stories about what they were making or questions asked. Expectation 1.4 we chose because some of the communication between the children were based upon what they were making with the materials provided, such as the boys' horses and dragons and the girls' houses. We chose expectation 1.7 because the boy was using a variety of adjectives to describe and enhance on the idea of what he was creating. For example, when he was explaining how the horses were racing and when the dragons were breathing fire and flying around. We chose expectation 1.9 because during the video, both the girls talked about personal experiences about the one little girl's grandma, and this started the conversation between the two. Lastly, we chose expectation 3.1 because the teacher used an appropriate tone of voice and kind gestures and questions when interacting with the children, and an example of this is when she was continuing on conversation with a little boy during his play. When looking at next steps for the children in this play episode, we came up with a few ideas. First, possibly introduce dramatic play experiences, introduce the children to playing with larger groups or without a teacher facilitating, bring Lego pieces into some mathematical experience, and invite them to play with larger constructive materials.
So, specific examples of our next step experiences again include possibly introducing dramatic play experiences. So due to the amount of imagination and communication that went on in the duration of our time slot, a specific next step example could be to set out certain times of the daily schedule dedicated to open-ended dramatic play, which opens up the opportunity for the children to be creative with the costumes and materials, leading them to further play ideas and their own future experiences. For introducing the children to play with larger group or without a teacher facilitating, because throughout the video there are only 3 children, and opening them up to a larger group can improve their social and communication skills, as well as taking them into other play strategies from other peers. And without a teacher facilitating, it gives the children the opportunity to be more independent in their play. Bringing Lego pieces into some mathematical experience by creating patterning or sorting activities for the children to interact with. We could get something such as containers and asking the children to sort the Lego pieces by color or even size, or asking them to build or create a pattern of Lego including more than one color, so like blue, red, or blue, red, yellow. And lastly, invite them to play with larger constructive materials such as bigger building blocks or different textures and size blocks such as wood and foam blocks. So, for example of costumes to include in the classroom for dramatic play experiences could be just like typical career ones, as children love to dress up and play with their imagination and stuff like that. So for the blocks, like these are just other blocks, like blocks with alphabets, foam blocks, connecting blocks, wooden blocks, etc.